copyrights. And I don't own that song, but damn, that's a good song. Damn, that's a good song. All right, started. Cool. Welcome everybody to another episode of The New Breed. I'm your host, Fernando motherfucking Caro, doing the most always, because that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. Things will never be the same. Tupac, shout out to Tupac. Big influence. But welcome. If this is your first time on my channel, this is IMC TV, IMC Nation. I'm your host. This is The New Breed, a new breed of human being, a new breed of consciousness, a new breed of just a fucking savage animal, but not really, because we're human beings too. There's the beast and then there's the spirit, right? And I like to combine both because I recognize that this body that we have belongs to planet Earth. And everything that you see here in this planet, nature, you know, from the stars and the sun to the birds chirping to the ants on the floor to every part of, the earth is nature, right? It's earth. And so we are existing through life in an earth body, right? You got an earth body, I got an earth body. Right now, our earth bodies are communicating. But most importantly, there's also the soul, the spirit inside, right? And it's clear as day that I'm not this body. And let me explain to you what that means. You're like, what are you talking about, bro? Obviously, you're that body. My friend's calling. Let me answer this because this is important, but I actually want you to hear it because it's real life. Apa, ¿cómo estás? Chingándole, ya sé, bro, ya sé. Estaba hablando con mi amigo porque es nuevo real estate agent y pues en conversión saliste tú y le dije de ti y pues le dije, no, falta, déjame llamar sobre a ver cómo está.
Sí, de aquel no, me quedé aquí en Pomona.
¿En Pomona?
Cerca de tu barrio.
Cerca de mi barrio. Es claro, ya. Hey, te quería preguntar, I'm here in Fullerton y pues tengo un equipo de real estate agents aquí en Fullerton nuevos y pues le estaba diciendo pues cómo agarré mi first deal y haciendo open houses y toda esa strategy. Y pues él me preguntó, oye, estoy todos los fines de semana estoy avisando a los agents, pero nadie me presenta open houses. Y le dije, pues, I'm gonna call my friend Silver y a ver si tienes este feedback o información para darle en caso que pues si usted tiene un open house que no quiere hacer y a lo mejor le puedes presentarle o como quieras.
Es que tengo una casa, ahí donde quiera o tiene que ser local.
Yeah. No, donde quiera, bro.
Tengo una casa que me urge vender y no tengo a nadie para hacer más fines de semana.
¿Dónde?
Y yo estoy en Palmdale.
Palmdale, oh, está muy un poco lejos, bro. Yeah. No, no, pero
yo no voy a trabajar, voy a tener un compromiso familiar.
Yeah. Pero tengo agents en Palmdale si necesitas, bro. Yo les pregunto, mándame el post en flyer o de dirección del listing page y se les mando. Okay.
Pero alguien está chingón, que de verdad vaya.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to him. Se cortó, Silver, se cortó el celular. No sé qué está pasando aquí. No, el signal está bien mal.
Creo que le dije que la pasada un muchacho.
It's cutting. Hey, I'm gonna call you back. Pero mándame a text para que no se me olvide, pero I'm gonna call you back. Okay, bye. All right. So let's get back to this. We have earth bodies, but we also have spirit inside, and you can measure that everywhere we go. And my objective through the new breed is to talk to you using this earth body from the spirit, okay? Spirit talks. right? We can see the spirit in people. We can see it's very visible. Like if you go outside today and you saw somebody who was all like dark, you could see the spirit inside. There's a darkness towards that spirit. There's a darkness in it, right? But let's say you see somebody who's like up and winning and smiling. There's a positive spirit inside. So we can measure that, right? The external, the body, is just a personification of what's going on inside, right? There's a quote that says, as above, so below. As within, so without, right? Like we hear these things all the time, right? The way you think about yourself inside is how the world is going to project you. Maybe you haven't heard that, and I think that you know that. But let me tell you, what you're thinking inside is being manifested in the world outside. For example, if inside you believe that you're not worthy, or if you believe that this life is not for you, or if you believe anything that's self-inflicting in a negative manner is going to manifest in the world outside. The same is true on the opposite end. That if I truly believe that this world is for me, that if I truly believe I'm worth everything, if I believe that I'm capable of anything in this life, then the world must give the opposite effect. Now, for example, some people are like, well, Fernando, I try and be positive, but the world's fucked up. My life is just shit, right? And that's true, right? That's true. It doesn't mean that everything is automatically going to shift into some beautiful mirage of a life, because that's not true. You see, we live in Earth. Everybody that you see today, everybody that you interact with today, if you go to Starbucks, the person behind, the barista, if you go to the grocery store, the grocery clerk, the shoppers, everywhere you go today, the minute you interact with another human being, you must first begin to recognize that they too are having a human experience just like you. Meaning, today, if you felt anything like anxiety, you felt nervous, you felt shy, or you felt inspired, or you felt whatever it is that you felt today, you're insecure, right? You have these adversities that you're facing, these problems that you have in your life. There's not enough money. There's a lot of doubt, right? All these things, you have to recognize that the minute you see the next human being, they too have that. The minute you think that another human being isn't out there struggling or trying their best, you have to understand that you're not the only one existing today. There's billions of people. There's also creatures and there's life taking place. So then I can recognize, oh shit, I feel like I know I'm going through some shit, right? Try this. I know I'm going through some things, but I can see other people are going through things too. And the minute I'm aware of that, the minute I'm aware that somebody else outside of just me is going through shit today too, I can now carry some more compassion for myself and for that human being. You get what I'm saying? I can now give compassion, recognizing that there's other human beings on this planet who are also going through the struggles that I've gone through, who have faced challenges just like I have. Now, if there's things that I solved for my life, then I must be able to give that to another human being who has yet to solve it. As I mature in life, as I continue to age and gain more wisdom in this life and more certainty in what I do and what I speak about and what I share to the world, there's a sense of responsibility that the more capable I become in handling life, there's a responsibility that I want to naturally give and share with people who have not yet evolved to that manner of understanding. You see that? It's like, for example, the person who's made billions of dollars on planet Earth. What do they start doing? They start creating. They want to share it. They start businesses and they help people learn how to do that themselves. If they're a good human being, granted, some people want to just have a world power to themselves. But a good human being, especially a new breed of human being, is one who, once they achieve a respectable amount of success in any field, whether that be, your physical body, right? Or, learning how to do tattoos, or great at business, or an inspiring communicator, anything that you admire in a human being, right? Recognize that if you have any sort of skill, that is very valuable, that you can now begin to share to people, because I guarantee there's someone on planet Earth that wants to know what you know. Whatever it is. People want to know. Now, it's your job to have certainty in what it is that you do so that you can share your art to the world. Which is why I like to communicate. I like to express myself. I like to stream and share my art to the world, so the world can see and say, hey, how do you do that? Do what? How do you speak so effortlessly and so freely, like your soul is emanating? How do you do that? Well, let me show you. Just listen, have a seat. Let's talk. Because you're right there too, man. You're just stuck inside. You got a bunch of bullshit thoughts that are clouding your mind and clouding your expression to come out. You have things that are not true. You're telling yourself a story. And that story that you're telling yourself is not allowing you to freely and unbind and express yourself to your truest potential, right? Because I wanted that. At some point, I saw someone who could speak and you could feel the ripples in the universe. And I said, God, I want that. I want that ability. I want to be able to speak. And when I speak, I'm one with nature. I'm one with the earth. I speak life into the world. Some people speak destruction into the world. Some people speak pain into the world. I want to speak more life into the world, because I recognized those who can give life and amplify life and appreciate life and grow life, hey, the world starts to give them more of that too. It's a world of exchange. If you're inside hurting, in pain, you're self-inflicting on others, right? That's going to seep. That poison will seep everywhere. There's so many times where I've had to, the anger starts to fuel up in my chest. I had to just shun it in because I can handle it. But the minute I start to spew out anger and resentment and hatred and envy, and then it goes now out to the world. And I have to take a look. Do I want that out there? Not necessarily. But I can handle it in me. And it's up to every human being, especially if you're a new breed, that you handle you first before you go out and spew your toxicity, right? It's like the saying goes, if you have nothing good to say, don't say it at all. You see, doesn't mean that I don't correct people. Doesn't mean that I don't tell people they're fucking up when they're fucking up. Doesn't mean that when someone's making bad decisions that you don't say, hey, bro, what's going on, dude? What the fuck? Doesn't mean that. It means that you're going to bring order first and foremost to yourself and then to your environment. Not because I'm telling everybody to be orderly and, hey, handle yourself, but because I am a demonstration first. I bring order to me first so that those observing can see, whoa, this is an orderly person. This is somebody who has achieved some sort of success in their own personal self. They got to start looking at themselves and be like, well, shit, I can do better. Because these are the same things that I have done, is what I'm sharing. Now, just to put this on a bow tie, right? Take a look at your circumstances in life and recognize, first and foremost, that there is a solution. Now, the solution can be out there, as I point out there somewhere, but the solution sits inside. And let me explain that a little bit more, because you're like, well, what the fuck? If I had the solution already, I wouldn't need to seek out answers. You're right. However, again, this is a powerful quote. This helped me so much at some point. You cannot. Oh, let me find the wording. I'm going to paraphrase it because the wording is not exact on how I'm saying it, but you cannot teach something to someone who cannot learn that lesson yet. Meaning, how many times in your life Have you tried helping people? And they just refuse to change. They refuse to acknowledge. Maybe they did acknowledge what you were saying. However, they didn't take the initiative to change that about them, right? You had such a great teaching, but they didn't learn the lesson, right? And so I recognize that you cannot teach anything, nor can I learn anything until I'm able to understand the lesson. And that takes time. You got to allow people the time to go through their experience of life for them to learn the lessons. You see, early on, I learned the lessons of my life. So I sought out answers. I was like, okay, well, fuck, I don't want that shit to happen again. What's the answer to this? And I realize more as I go forward in life and I seek out references. I'm like, oh, that makes sense. I had to go through that in order for me to receive the lesson of life. So many of the circumstances in your life, you're going to have to go through them for you to finally recognize, oh shit, been doing this wrong for a very long time. Now I can learn the lesson once I can recognize that what I was doing before that was not correct. And nobody wants to be not right in what they're doing. Everybody believes that they're doing the right thing. Even if the criminal, when he's stealing or when he's burglary or he's killing somebody, right? That criminal, at some point in their life, I guarantee they think they're doing the right thing, even if the act is unjust. If we look at the world affairs and, you know, the violence that's taking place on millions of lives, those people in charge, they think they're doing the right thing for their people. Now, who's right, who's wrong? You see, we can all point fingers. But we have to take a look, and this is where ethics and morals must be applied first and foremost to selves. Morals are like a personal thing. Ethics are affects your people, your tribe, your crew, the world, right? No, it's opposite. Ethics affect self. Morals are like a group collaborative, right? The morals of the team, right? Some people use the word morale. Like, what's the morale? What's the energy in the room, right? If you walk into a room and everybody's upset, it's going to feel hostile. The morale of the group is down. When people are not winning, they're down. The morale's down. When people are winning, their morale's up, right? Succeeding. If you were to watch a TV show, or if you were to watch like a sporting event, right? And it's a championship game, put the TV on mute. At the end of it, you can see on the faces and the expression who's the champion and who's the loser without any word being said. We can see that. Same way that people can see when you're winning and when you're losing at life. When your morale is up and when your morale is down. Now, that's not the point of all this. So, again, first and foremost, we gotta be the salvation of our own life. And your relationship with your creator, whoever that may be, the universe, God, Allah, whoever your creator is in this planet, your relation with them, you be the demonstration of what it is that you're seeking to be in this life, the salvation of your life, right? And I ended with that because I don't have the answers to all of life's problems. However, I have accumulated and I have gained certain experience in a lot of the problems that I, as a being in this life, have experienced, right? Because it's always been my driving force, if you will. I saw the people I loved, the people I cared about in my life. I looked at my own life and the circumstances that were given upon me. I saw that as a task, as my quest in this life to overcome, so that I can solve the solutions to the people I care most about. I didn't want them to go through the suffering anymore. I said, I know maybe they're going to do what they need to do in this life. It's not for them. The reason why it's such a thing for me is because it was meant for me to take on, right? The obstacle was for me, because in my own mind, the obstacle is a problem, and I don't want that anymore, right? So you got to take a look at your life and all the obstacles and challenges that you have in your life and say, all right, the obstacle becomes the path. My mission now is to be able to solve the problems of my life. No longer will it be a problem. And as I solve the problems of my life, I now share the solution. And that's my gift to the world. And the more solutions I have, the better the world is for you, right? And so we end it there. Jai Guru Dev. See you on the next one. This is the New Breed.